Some call it the Doomsday Glacier, a vast expanse of Antarctic ice roughly the size of Florida. Formerly named the Thwaites Glacier, as temperatures rise connected to human activities, it's melting fast.
In 2013, a team drilled through nearly a kilometer of Antarctic ice and pulled life from beneath it. Not fossils, not imprints. Living microbes revived after 3,500 years in total darkness. It wasn't just a breakthrough, it was a warning. Because if life can survive under the ice, what else might be waiting there? That question, posed quietly in labs, has collided with a far louder one echoing across the internet. What is Antarctica really hiding? The frozen curtain lifts. For years, Antarctica has been more myth than continent in the public imagination. Its sheer size, its inaccessibility, and its visual silence, just endless white stretching to every horizon, have made it a blank canvas for the conspiracies of our time. Among the most persistent is the so-called ice wall, a towering, unbroken barricade claimed by some to be the very edge of the world. Satellite images with blurred tiles, off-limits zones under international treaties, and the sheer absence of everyday footage have only deepened the allure. But the truth, as it turns out, is stranger and far more consequential than fiction. That so-called wall, it's real, but it's not hiding cosmic secrets. It's a ring of floating ice shelves that forms where massive glaciers meet the Southern Ocean, stretching thousands of kilometers around the continent like a frozen halo. And what lies beyond isn't a drop into the void, but the interior of a world most humans will never see. Now, with drones flying further, submarines diving deeper, and climate urgency pulling global attention southward, Antarctica's frozen curtain is beginning to lift, not revealing fantasies, but something far more staggering, an ancient, evolving world awakening beneath the ice. The world beneath the glacier. In February 2024, a sleek torpedo-shaped submarine named RAN slipped beneath the Thwaites Glacier, an ice giant so unstable it's nicknamed the Doomsday Glacier. If Thwaites collapses, sea levels could rise over 2 feet globally, redrawing coastlines and putting millions at risk. But RAN wasn't built just to measure risk. It was built to see what no human ever could. Autonomous and untethered, the $3.6 million vessel was guided by sonar and real-time algorithms, navigating a sunless world of black pressure and shifting ice. As it moved beneath the glacier's belly, its sensors mapped a realm that defied expectations. Where models had assumed smooth contours, RAN revealed an alien topography. Vast, teardrop-shaped caverns carved by swirling warm currents, ridges like inverted sand dunes, and silvery hollows shaped by the ocean's slow breath. One researcher likened it to discovering the far side of the moon, utterly familiar in pattern, yet totally foreign in material. Then, silence. Just as RAN was preparing for its final return, the signal vanished mid-transmission. No ping, no beacon, no debris. It was as if the glacier had closed around it, swallowing the evidence. Before disappearing, however, it managed one final data burst, confirming that warm ocean water was tunneling into the ice far deeper than previously thought, accelerating melt and rewriting climate models in real time. But RAN's mission also did something else. It shifted the narrative, from ice as barrier to ice as revelation. The question was no longer about what Antarctica hides behind its cliffs. It became, what's alive and changing underneath them? The rainforest that shouldn't exist. In April 2020, a German-British team drilling beneath Antarctica's Pine Island Glacier brought up something few expected and none could fully explain. A chunk of sediment containing fossilized roots, spores, and pollen so perfectly preserved that individual cell walls were still visible. The implications hit like a wave. Beneath this glacial desert had once stood a rainforest, dense, humid, and teeming with life. This was no tundra. 90 million years ago, the South Pole supported towering conifers, flowering plants, and a network of rivers winding through thick vegetation. Despite 4 months of total darkness each year, global temperatures and high carbon dioxide levels kept the forest alive. Antarctica then sat further north, as part of the supercontinent Gondwana, and benefited from longer sunlight exposure in summer months. The air would have been thick, the canopy alive with movement, the soil soft with decomposition, more Amazon than ice sheet. That rainforest discovery was shocking enough. But then came the amber. In November 2024, researchers announced the first ever piece of amber found on the continent, glowing golden, about the size of a thumbnail, and packed with fossilized moss, fungal spores, and possibly ancient insect fragments. Until that point, Antarctica had been the only continent without amber evidence. Now, scientists had a literal time capsule, a sealed ecosystem fragment frozen mid-moment, that could carry genomic data across tens of millions of years. Each of these discoveries pushed a single idea further into the spotlight, that Antarctica was not always cold, dead, or forgotten. It was once green, vibrant, and very much alive, which raises an even more startling question. If that world was buried intact, could any part of it have survived? The hidden lake that breathed life back. In 2013, nearly a decade before Rand vanished beneath the glacier, another mission drilled down through 800 meters of ice into a place untouched for millennia, Lake Whillans. It wasn't just the depth that made it remarkable, or the fact that it lay sealed beneath the ice for thousands of years. It was what they found inside. From the dark, pressurized waters, scientists retrieved living microbes, organisms that had endured complete isolation for 3,500 years. These weren't dormant fossils or frozen remains. They were active, metabolizing life forms adapted to an environment with no sunlight, no oxygen, and constant cold. For the first time, scientists had proof that a functioning ecosystem could exist beneath Antarctica's massive ice sheet. The discovery didn't just rewrite what we knew about life on Earth. It echoed possibilities far beyond it. If microbial communities can thrive in subglacial lakes cut off from the atmosphere for millennia, what might lie beneath even older lakes like Vostok, sealed under 2.4 miles of ice for up to 15 million years? And further still, could such ecosystems exist under the frozen oceans of Europa or Enceladus, moons where light never reaches and pressure crushes everything? Suddenly, Antarctica wasn't just a frozen archive, it was a blueprint. The microbial samples from Lake Whillans revealed complex chemical pathways and survival strategies evolved in total darkness. They pointed to a resilience written not just into species, but into ecosystems. These weren't outliers, they were living time travelers. In their cellular memory were hints of past climates, ancient oceans, and environmental thresholds Earth crossed long ago. And this begged a sobering question. If life could last down there for millennia, silently adapting, could our own surface world change just as completely, just as silently, before we even realize it? The ice shelf collapse that changed everything. On February 6th, 2020, Antarctica recorded a temperature of 18.3 degrees Celsius, warmer than Los Angeles that same day. Within 9 days, satellite imagery showed that 20% of Eagle Island's snowpack had melted away. Pools formed where none had existed before, like time-lapse evidence of a continent thawing too quickly. Scientists had long believed East Antarctica was stable. That illusion dissolved in a single season. This wasn't an isolated event. In the years that followed, drones from the British Antarctic Survey began mapping massive stress fractures across major ice shelves. The Wind Racers Ultra, an autonomous drone capable of flying 620 miles with a 220-pound payload, helped track glacier movement and temperature fluctuations in previously unreachable zones. In September 2025, those flights delivered sobering results. 60% of Antarctica's ice shelves could reach irreversible collapse by 2085. And the danger isn't in the ice itself. Ice shelves already float. Their melting doesn't raise sea levels, but they act as bulwarks, natural dams holding back the land-based glaciers behind them. Once those break, the glaciers accelerate. One collapses, then another. The Conger ice shelf disintegrated in just 9 days in 2022. If Thwaites goes, it could raise global sea levels over 2 feet. The entire West Antarctic ice sheet? More than 10. These numbers aren't theoretical anymore. They're already appearing in revised flood models and insurance risk tables. Because as the ice lets go, it doesn't just uncover secrets. It triggers chain reactions that reach every coastline on Earth, the places we're not supposed to see. Despite decades of exploration, vast stretches of Antarctica remain visually blank. Satellite images blurred, drone footage restricted, and large sectors closed to non-scientific entry. For conspiracy theorists, this fuels speculation. But even outside the internet's fringes, legitimate scientists and institutions are quietly asking questions not about aliens or lost civilizations, but about access, anomalies, and what lies beneath. Take Lake Vostok, buried under 2.4 miles of ice, the largest known subglacial lake on Earth. For 15 million years, it's been sealed away, untouched by light or atmosphere. Yet in 2023, researchers finally extracted its first layered sediment sample. Those layers might contain ancient DNA, trapped gases, or chemical signatures from an ecosystem beyond comparison. Some speculate it may even hold oxygen-rich waters unlike any other on Earth. And then there are the flight restrictions, not imposed by shadow governments, but by the International Association of Antarctica Tour Operators, citing environmental hazards. Still, curiosity lingers. Why are some of the most biologically promising zones the least visually documented? Why are drone bans absolute in tourist regions, while scientific missions tread carefully under classification agreements? In the end, it may not be about hiding something sinister, but about delaying what we're not quite ready to understand. What Antarctica teaches us about Earth. Antarctica isn't just a place frozen in time. It's a mirror held to our future. Every core sample, sonar map, and lost submarine speaks to Earth's ability to change completely, often without warning. The rainforest buried beneath Pine Island Glacier isn't just a relic of deep time. It's a reminder that the climates we consider permanent are anything but. The microbes from Lake Whillans reveal that life can wait, silently, patiently, while everything around it shifts. And as our carbon levels approach those of the ancient Cretaceous world, we may already be laying the foundation for Earth's next dramatic transformation. But the lesson Antarctica offers is not just about science, it's about humility. For all our technology, there are places we still can't reach, forces we still can't slow, and ecosystems we still don't fully understand. In the most silent corner of the planet, the loudest warnings may already be echoing. Antarctica didn't hide the edge of the world. It held the memory of one, a rainforest beneath the ice, life that never left, and a future still melting into view. If this journey moved you, subscribe for more, share the wonder, let others feel the shift.